that fact recently that it takes CEOs 4 days.
Something going on here. Oh, sorry.
These women and men have stripped off and they've got and they have glued their hands to the windows. And there's quite a frenetic press.
Louder and bolder than this. We got people make sure everything is okay in the background. Yeah. Again, not buying this bullshit. Won't wear injustice. Rather be naked. So it's the same information going the whole way down across. They're all wearing pink masks. They're all masked up. It looks like that they've got glue on their hands. You can see the glue. There's her well stuck on. You can see the glue here with the hand signatures signed in. Got quite a big group of photographers are now lining up, coming in to take pictures. Fighting for front position. You can see everybody's hands. There's quite a lot of glue there. Quite a lot of glue. Everything okay? Yeah. So I'm just gonna walk back out a bit so you can. So what we've heard about the fast fashion industry, it's employing child labour. It's one of the big contributors to greenhouse gas emissions through manufacturing, through also destroying the environment through the vast amounts of water that's needed, the amount of chemicals that are for manufacturing fast fashion. We've got this throwaway society. People are just buying very cheap clothes on the sweat of countries where they're involved in practices of employing slave labour. So what store is this? Where are we? So, okay, we're in front of H&M. So H&M, you can go in, you can buy a t-shirt for about £2. Okay. Right. Give you a pan around what the scenes are looking like here. We got quite a lot of photographers all lining up to take pictures. We got people who are videoing on their phone. We've also got then with and they're also giving out information to the people who are walking around. We've got first aiders. So I'm just going to give you a bit more information about what's going on here. It's We Act in Peace. So, kind of social distancing is now going on. These are unbelievable scenes. In case you're just joining us now, we're reporting live from Oxford Circus, where people are organising a protest against the fashion industry, about fast fashion. They've come down to H&M, and they have literally bared all and stripped off, and they're now standing like mannequins, well, real mannequins, so real humans, saying that they rather be naked, not buying this bullshit. So they're calling it out for what it is. Yeah. And you wanna. There you go. You can see all the stream of photographers going through everything. There you go. How you doing? Good. Live streaming. Yeah, always. Really good. So we're hearing some unbelievable statistics about how actually polluting fast fashion is. So it's something that needs to be called out. The laws that are in place are simply not good enough. There's more the government here and around the world can be doing. The crowds are gathering. More and more people are stopping to see what's going on. There's more and more photographers joining. More people are stopping to see what's going on. The crowd is okay. Crowds are gathering on the other side of the street. People in buses are stopping and staring. I'm just going to go and just take a little walk back now and have a chat with this lady here. Are you okay to talk a little bit about fast fashion to me?
Sorry, something.
Oh, okay. Something's ringing just there. Just going to pan up a bit. There you go. You're right.
And also, next country is really knowledgeable on this. With the blue. Oh no.
It's glued on.
No, it's not. What's it called?
I need to find somebody who can.
Just probably naked. Not fighting this bullshit.
Yeah.
Fashion is fucked. Joanne, where's Alan? That's fine.
Okay. What's the person wearing? Does they have a flag?
He had the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. Okay. There you go. Even the police are getting in on the action, filming everything.
Talk to him. He knows everything.
That guy there.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Alan.
Alan.
He knows definitely about fast fashion.
Hey, do you want to have a quick word? It's Extinction Rebellion live. So I'm just I'm live streaming this.
Yes. Support from passers-by has been amazing because people understand how bad fast fashion is. It's something that really connects with them. Wow, how an amazing and symbolic protest it is. It's hands off, to these guys. You know what I mean? They're brilliant.
What's the significance? Oh, okay.
And the social distancing.
Yeah, sorry. Do you want to keep on just so just explain about a bit more about fast fashion. A lot of people don't understand what's fashion got to do with destroying the climate, and they don't even understand the injustices. And if you can just a bit more information.
Yeah, the whole thing, it goes back to social justice. I mean, if we can buy a T-shirt for £2 or £3, why is someone being paid at the other end of the chain to be able to manufacture it? And then, the whole thing with container shipping, we're sending stuff all the way across the world for the sake of what? Just to save a few pounds. It's madness. People need to be able to be buying more sustainable products and more ethically sourced.
So it's about buying more ethically sourced products. So is this not on labeling?
Some brands are worse than others, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? And we've now got situations where we've got companies greenwashing. They're not trying to reduce the consumption of the product. They're trying to make it seem like they're more sustainable when they're not really.
So it is greenwashing. So
Yes,
people talk about doing stuff.
You still feel good about buying the products.
Yeah.
Hi, so tell us what's going on behind you.
So we're here on Oxford Street, one of the fashion meccas of the world, one of the biggest fashion brands in the world, and that is H&M. And we are saying today that we will not wear the injustice of the fashion industry, that things have to change. H&M are a brand that have, they boast their green credentials, and yet we see here overproduction and overconsumption. And this is at the expense of the exploitation of the planet, animals and people. We've seen during the last couple of months with coronavirus that many fashion brands have not paid their workers. H&M have paid their workers, but that doesn't mean that they're off the hook. 20% of cotton from the fashion industry is from the Uyghur region in China, and that's basically forced labour happening there on a massive, massive scale. So even though
Can you tell us what they've done behind you?
So our protesters here behind me are not wearing clothes. They stripped off with the message that they would rather go naked than wear the injustices that are systemic within the fashion industry. So we've got 5 brave protesters here that have glued themselves onto the window of H&M on Oxford Street.
So we got just down the road, just 20 meters from H&M, actually still in front of H&M. We've got more people who are taking direct action by bearing all. You can't get a very more loud, clear message than this. If they want to have their signs read, it's definitely it's getting the information. It's one way of getting the information out there. Very brave. They're deciding to do this. They're on the move again. As quick as they appeared, they've just disappearing again, and they're on the move again. There you go. Remember, it's all about the messaging. They're walking through. They're bearing all, walking through the crowds. There you go. There are round of applause. So now we've got the. Go for it. Right. So they have now joined. Yeah. There you go. Okay, reminder of social distancing. Gonna have a. Can you just explain why you're doing this?
Because fashion is fucked.
Yeah.
It's clear. There are too many things. It's like it's one of the most pollutive industry.
Yeah.
It's exploitative industry, like to people and animal, and it's very like communicating like I guess the bad values of the culture.
Yeah.
And it's like another of those society systems that they need to change to avoid the extinction of the planet, the species. It's like it's a really pollutive industry. It's an industry like the petrol industry. Is an industry. It's not like this fancy word that we usually look at the window of shops.
Are you part of XR Fashion? Is
We
it?
are XR Fashion, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody here is fashion. Are you in the fashion industry?
Sorry?
Are you in fashion?
Yeah. I'm a fashion designer.
You're a fashion designer. So do you not think that if you're a fashion designer, you're working against yourself?
I'm not working against myself because like there are a lot of ways to make designs without like exploiting anything new.
Yeah.
It's like for instance we have like upcycle. Upcycle is a solution. Is one of the solution.
Yeah.
So there are solutions. It's like a creative industry, and they should know better than me that I'm a young designer.
Very good, very good. So is everybody here working in fashion? Yeah. These are unbelievable scenes. In case you're just joining in, we're reporting live from Oxford Street, where XR Fashion are holding a demonstration against the injustice of the fashion industry, about how polluting it is, about the amount of energy that goes into producing fashion, fast fashion, and the injustices. So what's you've got G20 countries. What's going on with G20 countries?
That they're employing 127 billion pounds worth of products produced with links to modern slavery.
So G20 countries imported 127 billion fashion garments as produced modern slavery. 127 billion garments? Wow. That's a lot.
$127 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot of garments.
It is.
Do you work in fashion?
I'm a student.
A fashion student?
Yeah.
What do you not think it's you're kind of like chopping your own legs off, complaining about fashion?
I do, but I think the way that the industry works right now, particularly the fast fashion model, isn't an industry that I want to work in. Yes, I would. Yes, I do love fashion, but I think the economic way that it works right now is obviously not sustainable, and I think that it's currently not an industry that we can just let carry on as it is.
Wow, very good. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Do you work in fashion as well?
No,
No.
no.
Why are you here?
My training is theatre, and I wanted to pursue that passion. But in this state of ecological emergency, I decided to not follow my dreams and fight for this cause. Right now, I try to educate people on sustainable fashion.
Yeah.
I like that. This,
Yeah, let's go. Keep
for example, I don't know if you've seen there is some script on the other window that are preaching about repairing, wearing while still selling clothes.
Okay.
So we're here to tackle that, to say that is greenwashing.
It's greenwashing.
Yeah, it's greenwashing. So it's like they spend more money trying to advertise their sustainability rather than like have more upper wages for the workers.
Yeah.
I like have a more sustainable clothes, and that what is wrong. Like we need to learn.
No, it's greenwashing. It's like fashion greenwashing. Talking about.
Fashion greenwashing, and then like you can go film the other window. That's all of what I said in a window. Basically, that's saying repair your clothes while buying new ones. That doesn't make sense. So we're here to try to open the mind to people and.
Okay. Thank you very much. So people. So you're going to say a poem?
Hello, this is a poem that we recommend about why we're here. Whilst we are marked to protect our fellow citizens, another mark covers our exploitative system. Fast fashion, a killer in its very existence, the true cost buried deep at a distance. Claiming capital because of one eco-conscious range are arranged. There's no ethics in place as long as your fashion is fast. As long as your garments don't last. If your company has a heart, where's your compassion for the women's scars? We see your mask, your pandemic of deceit. You post a black square on your feed. You say you want all women free. Twitter, stand up for that line. You're willing to get your fucking down right the start. Finally, and handle in your 30 million mansion, profiting off the pandemic and economic expansion. You don't make $1 billion, you take that much wealth. Your wealth at the expense of garment workers' health. It's happening on UK soil too. 150 billion bonuses to the bosses of True News. Whilst their work is so worth £3 an hour, the pretty little thing is that your practice is sour. Your model is saying it's in the money to power. So social distancing is preached when protesters are on the street, asking for their basic rights to be respected and seen. But as long as the economy is on the rise, garment workers in Leicester are disposable lives. Morrison's not with confidence if you can't pay. The root of the garment he begs us to buy. So resist the sickness infecting from inside. Brand, pay up or let your conscience die.
Again, very powerful words. Okay. Just going to go for another interview here.
So I did see Val. She's there. Maybe we should do that one. Yeah.
Are you okay for a quick interview? What's going on?
We're gonna do
Extinction
the
Rebellion, UK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in the fashion industry?
No, I'm a fashion student actually.
A fashion student.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm studying textile. Well, I was studying fashion, and then I realised how fucked up the industry was, and I couldn't be a part of the toxic system. So, yeah, I now study textiles. I'm looking for a positive solution.
And what's sustainable fashion?
Sustainable fashion is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as sustainable fashion.
So when you hear people talking about we're a sustainable fashion store, it's what's that? Is that?
That's greenwashing.
Yeah.
The current fashion system is not sustainable. They're turning out 52, 53 collections a year, a collection a week. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Half of the stock is burnt, unused, and it's just not sustainable at all.
Sorry, did you say burnt?
Yeah. There's been cases, H&M, Burberry, they burn a lot of their new stock.
I was like, why would they burn their own stock?
Because, well, Burberry, for example, they don't want to lower their image, so they've got quite a big reputation.
Yeah. Oh, you're standing. Sorry.
I don't know. And they want to keep their stock at high value. So if that was then to go on the resale market, obviously it would lose its value. So they'd rather keep their reputation and destroy the environment.
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
So they make this fast fashion. Oh, sorry, I think I'll be stuck. Oh, sorry. So they make this fast fashion, spend all this money exploiting people, the vast amount of energy that goes into it, and then they burn it because they want to keep the prices high.
Yep, pretty much.
Wow.
It's a fucked system, right?
It is pretty. It is pretty fucked. And this is these guys here. Just are you going with them? Yeah.
Well, are you done? No, I think we're still going. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And these guys here, like, so what's the story behind rather be naked?
So they'd rather be naked than buy from H&M or another high street retailer whose clothes are made by children or women that are severely underpaid. Cheap shit that's made from polyester, crude oil. So yeah, they'd rather be naked than buy this shit. Basically, that's the message.
The impact of the climate of the fashion industry on the climate.
I'll let you go. I'll catch up.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
There you
go.
My name's
So I
Belle.
got Belle
I'm
speaking
a
there.
former fashion editor. I used to edit fashion for Metro newspaper, and I lived the fashion life. Yes, I was flown across the world to interview celebrities. I was given endless amounts of free gifts. It was really fun. But all the while through, I was feeling more and more uncomfortable because the amount of press releases I was getting and the amount of stuff that I was getting was overwhelming. And the amount of absolute shit I was getting on my desk was overwhelming. And I started to question everything. Now we're here today in a climate emergency, and the last fully intact ice shelf in the Canadian Arctic has just collapsed, losing more than 40% of its area in just 2 days. Agricultural land now covers 38.4% of the world's land area. That's not good news. Agricultural land is pretty dead. It's polluted. It's barren. Up to half of the world's coral reefs have already been lost. They're set to go. Why is that important? Because coral reefs provide refuge and sustenance to fish. So here we are. The Arctic is melting. Deserts are spreading. Forests are drying. Wildlife is being hunted. We have 10 years to more than halve global greenhouse emissions, and we are on track for over 3 degrees warming. Why am I telling you this? Because the fashion industry is partly responsible, and that is difficult to believe, isn't it, on glossy Oxford Street, where we have windows full of new clothes and advertisements telling us to buy more and more. It's never enough, is it? Fashion's contribution is way out of proportion to the value of the products it gives us. And we produce, to satisfy this insatiable hunger of ours, 100 billion items of clothing a year, mostly from virgin resources, and less than 1% of that is recycled into new. So most of that 100 billion is going into landfill. So anyone who's ever bought a top, worn it a couple of times, chucked it in the bin, hello, that's you. And so in creating those 100 billion items, the fashion industry currently produces around 10% of all carbon emissions. 60% of clothing is made from synthetics. All of us have got plastic on us now. No wonder 35% of microplastic pollution in our oceans comes from clothing. The final nail in our coffin, this damaging, wasteful industry is set to grow by 63% in 10 years. So however bad you think fashion is now, it's set to get a lot worse. But as Christiana Figueres, a personal hero of mine, the architect of the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement, says, the climate emergency isn't just about facts. Every fact is linked to the loss of human life. And that's particularly true in fashion, which employs up to 75 million people around the world, 80% of whom are women with dependents, of whom only 2% are paid a living wage. I can't do the math there, but that seems to be an awful lot of millions of young women not being paid a living wage. So before I got ready for this talk, I watched a film called Udita, meaning freedom in Bangladeshi. It was made by the incredible documentary company Rainbow Collective, and they followed the lives of people who worked in sweatshops, worked to make clothes that we see are being sold here today. And they live 8 people to a room with their families. They get maybe a bowl of rice a day or potatoes with spices. One woman says she gets meat about one every 2 months. The factories look hot and dirty. The trade unions meet in simple meeting houses. They don't dare meet in large groups. And I remember there was a meeting of a trade union and they were worried about something. And the man there who was heading the trade union said, these factories answer to a watchdog. I've just talked to the president. If that doesn't work, we'll go directly to the foreign country. This is Primark from England. And he said it with such faith, as if Primark from England was actually going to give a damn about what he was asking for. And now I'm going to talk to you about Rana Plaza, the turning point for me, when I gave up my glamorous job of excess and travel and interviewing Kate Moss. In 2013, a factory housing, I think, five clothing brands in Dhaka in Bangladesh fell, taking with it the lives of 1,134 people. 1,134 people making the clothes like you see on the street today. And mostly they were young women. And that was my turning point when I realized I couldn't work in this industry anymore. I switched off my computer and I left. Because I realized that a lot of clothes those people were making were exactly the same ones that I was writing about on my page. I was telling people like you to buy. And I was saying it was okay. And when I saw the labels in the rubble, and I saw the bodies in the rubble, because that's the value of social media, it shows you the truth, I thought that's enough. But now we find ourselves in a position again with COVID-19, when retailers have cancelled orders, putting the livelihoods of millions at risk. Garment workers making clothes for global fashion brands have either been underpaid or not paid at all. And when you're living on poverty pay,